Hello beans, it's been a little while since we've had a chat. This is mostly going to be a bit of a catch-up video. Like many people, I'm planning my race schedule for 2024. So I want to hear from you in the comments if you've got any races or like non-race running goals as well that you're shooting for next year. It'd be really awesome to hear about those. Quite a lot's been going on since I last did any kind of update. I can't even remember the last time I did a general update. I think it was way back in the spring. Yeah, so a lot's happened. I've been racing regularly over the summer and it's been really good fun. I've enjoyed myself a lot and I think I've got myself back into a really good headspace. For those of you who watched the video back in the spring, I was in a real shit place after Saddleworth. I had just got myself into a massive rut, like over comparing myself to other people and also just putting like way too much emphasis on my running ability and its link to my own self-worth, which was insane and did not put me in a good mental headspace at all. I was pretty depressed. So what I did was I just stripped everything right back. I was doing very little running for a while. I took it right back to a really, really tiny volume of running and built it up just ridiculously slowly, like painfully slowly, and just raced races I wanted to race and learned to enjoy myself again and learned to love it again. And that's been successful. I've been having a really great summer and just really enjoying running and racing again. And we're back up to about 50 kilometers a week, which is not like crazy numbers, obviously, but considering how slowly I've been building up, like I've been literally going by like 1 or 2 kilometers a week for most of the summer increase. So to be back up at 50 kilometers feels really good. The rest of the autumn is pretty well planned out. I'm going to be hopefully doing my my first cross-country season since school, which will be pretty interesting. I don't really know what to expect. I think again, I'm just gonna see what happens and enjoy it. I'm just doing the local league, the South Yorkshire League, so it's nothing crazy, but it should be fun and they'll be pretty sharp races anyway, so it'll be, yeah, good fun to just like blast around and race hard and enjoy myself. So on to next year and the plans for 2024. The main goal for the early part of the year is going to be my third attempt at Saddleworth 10 res. For those of you who might have seen the video from earlier this year, I did Saddleworth 10 res this year in the spring. I DNF'd, frustratingly not because of fitness. My fitness was really, really good. My shoes malfunctioned and were just like rubbing at the back of my heel. So I got about 10k in before that started to happen. And then I got another 5k and had to take my shoes off because I couldn't tolerate it. It hurt so much. Couldn't put them back on and had to like jog 5 kilometers in my socks to get back to the road so that I could be rescued. It wasn't ideal. And the year before that, I'd entered Saddleworth and then I thought I had a stress fracture in my foot. Turns out I didn't have a stress fracture. My foot just hurts randomly sometimes, but I now kind of know some of the stuff that causes that random foot pain. And I kind of know how to avoid it or deal with it when it comes along. So that isn't so much of a problem anymore, but that obviously wasn't the problem this year. Bloody shoes. I just can't trust Innovate anymore. My faith is gone. As part of the build up for Saddleworth 10 res, I am planning on running the Tour of Bradwell winter half, which is about 28 kilometers. And that'll be kind of my essentially my last long hard run before Saddleworth, and I'll kind of use it as a bit of a tune-up to sort of just get into the racing mental zone and figure out exactly what nutrition I want to use on race day and stuff like that. So it will be a training run, but I will probably kind of wind it up and try and pick up the pace as the race goes on. That's the plan. The big change in 2024 is that I'm going to make a specific effort to do some road racing. What? Road racing really, really scares me and I don't like it. Why the fuck am I doing road racing? You may be thinking. I'll try and explain that to you. So the theory behind trying to do some road racing is that it will help me eventually prepare for doing a road marathon. I'm pretty sure I don't currently possess the mental fortitude required to do the work required to get the kind of marathon time that I want. So every couple of years, I am going to shoot for a 5k, 10k and half marathon PB. And doing that kind of training, hard road training, I am hoping will gradually kind of teach me what's necessary for training for a full road marathon. That's the plan. I don't know when the road marathon is going to happen exactly. Could be in 10 years. hopefully before that. So my PBs for the 5k, 10k and half marathon are sporadic to non-existent. My 5k PB is from 2019. I got it at Exeter Riverside Park Run in 22:31. Yeah, pretty sure that's it. And I haven't really tried to race pace a 5k since. That's a lie. I did try and do a race pace 5k when I moved to Sheffield, and I had a panic attack halfway around. So the 5k scares me a lot because I know to go under 22:31 I'm going to have to go to some dark places in my head. I really hate that kind of fast stuff. I really struggle with it. The autism just goes into absolute overload, and it's just a massive struggle. So I just need to kind of feed in a lot more interval work and tempo running to kind of try and get used to that kind of training, and then sharpen it into more 5k specific stuff closer to the kind of date that I want to do a race pace 5k. I'm not going to enter a 5k race to do this. I'm just going to do it at a park run at some point, probably Rother Valley in Sheffield, because that's flat and it's one of the faster ones in the country. So that'll probably be where I do it, and that just kind of takes the pressure off. It means I kind of just do it on a weekend when I'm feeling good, essentially. I don't have an official 10k time. All the 10k races I've done have been trail or fell or the Stocks Lane Stinger, which is technically a road 10k, but it's not exactly a standard course. So I don't have an official road 10k time at all. And I am going to enter the Great Grimsby 10k to do that one next year. That's the plan. I should probably get on with that, otherwise all the places will be gone. But that's the plan, is the Great Grimsby 10k. I'm just going to go out and get a time. I have times in mind that I kind of want to go for. It would be really cool to get at least 50 minutes. If I can go under 50 minutes, that would be amazing. So that's kind of what we're looking at. I'm less scared of that, much less scared of the 10k than I am of the 5k. The 5k fully terrifies me. A half marathon is the one I'm absolutely the most confident about. I have 2 half marathon times. One is from Exeter in 2019, which I got after effectively a non-existent training block. I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. I was kind of, I'd run like that 5k PB, and I was running a couple of times a week, maybe 3 times a week at most. And I did some 10k training runs, and I just kind of decided that I'd just be able to double that on the day and it'd be fine. And I ran 2:07, I think. I can't find the results for that race, but I'm pretty sure it was 2:07, which is obviously not crazy fast. I faded really badly in the second half because of the terrible training. So that was my first half marathon, and then I ran my second road half marathon in Sheffield, the Sheffield half marathon. And that was, chip time was 1:53:33. So obviously significant PB from my first half marathon, but also super suboptimal preparation. Because of COVID, it had been shunted around, and it landed, the new date that it got moved to landed like in the latter part of my training block for the Round Rotherham ultra marathon. So I obviously wasn't doing any speed work or anything. So 1:53:33, I feel like was reasonable, considering my preparation for that was also not very good. However, if I can run 1:53 with effectively crap training, I'm pretty sure I can go sub 1:50 with a good training block. Easily go sub 150 with a good training block. Maybe 145. That's if things go really well. I think if I have a smash in spring, that'll be the case, but we will have to kind of see how things unfold as to where the times are going to be sitting, I think. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So the rest of 2024 will be fairly chill once the half marathon is out of the way. I guess if I haven't got a 5k PB by then, I might have to maybe just sort of have another go at that before the end of the year. But aside from that, I'm gonna pick like a trail race that's between 20 and 30 kilometers for sometime in the autumn, and just kind of do that as a bit of a keep things in check. And the whole of next year is essentially going to be me preparing and building up for doing ultras again in 2025. That's the long-term plan. More ultras, because I think ultras are me batting to the best of my ability. Training's going pretty well. I've started doing tempo runs again and doing them at actual tempo pace rather than what I was doing previously, which was saying, oh, I'm going to go do a tempo run, and then running them at sub-threshold, and then wondering why I felt like crap all the time. So things should be better this time around if I actually run my runs at the pace I'm supposed to run them. Tempo runs back on the menu, hill work's regular, and strength work's going really well. I did like a kind of 8-week mini block of doing sort of more powerlifting style training recently, just for fun, to kind of see what it was like, if I could kind of learn anything from it. And although I didn't get my squat any better, so my squat's at 85 kilograms still, I did PR my deadlift again. So I think I mentioned in a race recap a few weeks back that I had got 115 kilograms in the deadlift. That's now at 120, so quite a big increase for an 8-week training block. You don't normally gain that much strength in an 8-week training block, but I guess I'm just good at deadlifting. Not gonna move into powerlifting though, because my bench is terrible. That was just a bit of fun. I also use those kind of 1 rep max numbers to inform the rest of my strength training. So now I can kind of take those numbers and decide how much I'm lifting for my normal sessions when I'm doing more running focused stuff. It just gives me better numbers to work with, so I can kind of get the most out of my strength training. All right, great to have a little catch up. Remember to pop down in the comments what kind of races you're looking forward to next year, or if you're got any non-race things planned. I might have a couple of non-race things planned, but I haven't fully locked in on what I'm doing yet, so that update might come later. But yeah, if you've got any plans for next year, just pop them down in the comments. I'd really like to hear about them, and I will catch you next time.